So this video is going to be a continuation of our Nintendo Direct watching and ranking. If you're just joining us, this is going to be our second time that we're sitting down to do this. We're going through and watching every single Nintendo Direct, and we're going to rank them as we go. So far, as you can see here, I've got 3 that we've watched already and 3 that we've ranked. We did watch a 4th one last time, but it was the newest Nintendo Direct, which, believe it or not, it's only been a week and we already have another new Nintendo Direct. It was a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Nintendo Direct. Not quite along the same lines as these ones, but we will be watching those as well because they are considered directs. But we did not rank the new one that came out last week because we wanted to go back to the beginning and just see the comparison between the two. So today, what we're going to be doing is going through to the next one. So last time I ended the stream and I said that I wasn't sure if they did an E3 Direct. And I don't believe they did. I think it was just a normal E3 conference in 2012. So they just kind of did this pre-E3 2012 Direct to set it up. That's where they introduced the new Wii U hardware, which is the first time we really got to look at that. And so the actual E3 conference had more info on the games that were coming there and whatnot. So we're going to keep going down the list. And yeah, I think that's the plan. So once again, if you're just joining us, we're going to be going through and watching every single Nintendo Direct, and we're going to be ranking them as we go. How do I feel so far about these directs that I've placed here? I thought about it a little bit. I'm wondering if we should move these into F tier, but maybe F tier just won't have a lot. I think that should be for the really bad ones. And so far we have the first Nintendo Direct, which, they were still finding their legs, essentially. So the first one, the second one, they were still kind of fine-tuning it. But we have to give them credit. They were the very first. They didn't really know what they were doing. I think it's justified that they're placed in the E tier. And then D tier, we have the Wii U reveal, which I wasn't particularly pleased with looking back on it. I don't think it was the best Direct. I don't think they handled that system in general in the right way, but I still love the Wii U and have a soft spot for it. And I think the important thing that came out of watching that was that was really the first video that stuck with the format that we have today. At least it was the very beginning of that format that ended up evolving over time. So I think in terms of presentation style, that's why that's there. And it was definitely beefier than the first two, even though, it was still not the greatest Direct ever. And it certainly does not deserve to go higher than that, in my opinion, at least. So with that said, why don't we move on here to the next video, which, spoilers, Nintendo 3DS XL reveal. So this should be a good one. If you remember last time I mentioned I did not get the 3DS upon release. Which is weird because usually I get every single Nintendo system that comes out. So it was a bit of a change for me. But the 3DS XL, that changed things. It changed a lot. So I'm anticipating that this is going to be a good one to watch. So let's boot it on up here.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another installment of Nintendo Direct.
He's back and better than ever. This time he's seated, not standing in front of a static white screen.
Today we've got some news about Nintendo 3DS. Not only about upcoming games, but also about the Nintendo 3DS system itself. So, let's get started. And why don't we begin with this? This is Nintendo 3DS
Look at it.
XL.
It's glorious.
Its screens are 90% larger than those of the original Nintendo 3DS.
I mean, just take a look at that original.
Gaming experiences will be more intense and more engrossing than...
I mean, if you ask me like which one looked dated, and I mean the 3DS just does not look modern. I don't know what it is about the design, but I mean this looks so much more refined as the 3DS XL. And a lot of people are saying, so this past week the Nintendo Switch has a rumor that they're going to be releasing a new version this year around the holidays, and it will kind of do what the new 3DS XL is doing here, which is it expands the screen to fill in more of what's there, which I think is a perfect way to upgrade the Nintendo Switch. And I know I'll buy one. I'm sure it will be a little more refined, just like this. I mean, here's the original 3DS and then the 3DS XL. It just looks so much better in so many different ways. Anyway, let's continue.
Before. It has an updated form factor and will be available in red and blue, and has a battery life that outperforms the original Nintendo 3DS.
Yeah, better battery life is also what people are hoping for the Nintendo Switch that's coming this year.
Perfect for downloading content from the Nintendo eShop. We're launching Nintendo
I mean, you have so much more real estate to work with here.
At a suggested retail price of $199.99, and it'll be available in stores on August 19th, the same day that we release New Super Mario Bros. 2. That's the hardware.
It's a good launch plan.
But I can't say enough about how Nintendo 3DS XL enhances the Nintendo 3DS gaming experience. Games like The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D, Super Mario 3D Land, Mario Kart 7, and Kid Icarus Uprising really shine on those big screens, which are also a perfect fit for video applications like Netflix and Nintendo Video. The bottom screen is bigger too, meaning it's easier than ever before.
I love that Reggie's just like reading this off a teleprompter, which I'm sure is what they do normally, but it just is a little
everything the Nintendo 3DS was made to do. The launch of Nintendo
static,
3DS XL
a little
and
wooden,
New Super Mario
if you will.
Bros. 2 on August 19th marks the beginning of a huge push for Nintendo 3DS.
I mean, they do have a really good lineup. Like, I think people were really harsh on the lineup for the original Nintendo 3DS. But by this time, I mean, you got Mario Kart, you have Mario 3D Land, you have Ocarina of Time remake, and you have New Super Mario Bros. 2. That's pretty good.
Have been working on.
And that's what, I mean, I'm hoping that the new Nintendo Switch, if it actually is a thing, will release with a new game like that.
Our third-party partners are bringing explosive, dynamic, exciting game experiences to Nintendo 3DS, and the result is an absolutely packed release schedule for the rest of 2012. Here are just a few of the key titles you'll be playing before the year is up. In Castlevania Lords of Shadow Mirror of Fate from Konami, play as part of the famed Belmont clan and go up against the evil of Dracula himself. The game features 4 playable characters, including Dracula's son Alucard, gigantic bosses, powerful weapons, and deep exploration. Trust me, you are going to need a map for this one.
I mean, so far this is a much better direct, just in general. This feels more along the lines of what we get today.
Twice the size of regular Skylanders, and
I don't think it's carrying the same weight that,
and in real life,
you know, the modern ones do, but I think this is pretty solid.
My apologies in advance to parents everywhere. The Nintendo 3DS version of the game features its own unique storyline and exclusive 3D levels and gameplay options you won't be able to find anywhere else. D3 Publishers' Adventure Time, Hey Ice King, Why'd You Steal Our Garbage? Captures the random fun of the show and allows players to be Finn and Jake in the land of Ooh, exclusively on Nintendo 3DS and Nintendo DS platforms. Fans will be happy to know that the game features direct involvement by series creator and genius Pendleton Ward. Lego The Lord of the Rings from Warner Brothers Interactive
Lego Lord of the Rings
and TT Games lets you play as your favorite Lord of the Rings characters as Lego minifigures.
I did not play this. Is this on? I think this is on the 3DS. I did not play it on the 3DS. I played it on the Wii.
Puzzle gameplay. The Lord of the Rings is a natural fit
Which
for
I
the
mean,
Lego
I love
franchise.
because Legos meets Lord of the Rings.
Named Legolas.
Love it.
Also from Warner Brothers is Scribblenauts Unlimited. Help Maxwell solve robust
Scribblenauts, I know,
challenges by summoning
has a
any
lot of
object
fans.
you can imagine
I've never
as you
played,
explore an all-new side-scrolling open world.
but I know that it's
you can also utilize Street Pass
a lot
to
of
see all of the creative solutions
fun.
to puzzles
Creative
used
fun.
by other players. Disney Epic Mickey Power of
Epic
Illusion
Mickey?
launches on November 18th
Cool.
and features gameplay exclusive to the Nintendo 3DS. Use the
I didn't know
power
there
of
was
paint
an
and
Epic
thinner
Mickey
to work
game
your
on
way through the
3DS.
game using the Nintendo 3DS touchscreen as you battle the evil
Actually looks kind of cool.
Bell and save famous
I played
Disney
the one on the Wii.
In Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, characters from the Sega universe battle for supremacy by driving unique transforming vehicles designed to race seamlessly on land, sea, and air. Just announced, NASCAR driver Danica Patrick is
Sonic
joining
Racing,
the
I know that
All-Star
also
cast
has
as
its
a
own
playable character.
fans.
And last but definitely not least, Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance from Square Enix
Okay.
launches on July 31st.
I did play
With
this.
Street Pass functionality, Dream Eaters that can be unlocked with AR cards, and support for the Circle Pad Pro.
Played this, but
Additionally, a
ironically, I
collector's
haven't really
edition will be
played
available
all of
at
the other
launch called
games.
The Mark of Mastery
The
Edition,
Kingdom Hearts
the very
series.
first Kingdom Hearts
I had,
collector's
I mean,
set
I've played
released
some
in
of
North
1 and
America.
2.
We think you're gonna love
And
this
I've
game,
seen a lot
and
of
are actually
3,
making a
but I haven't
downloadable demo
played
version
any of them
available
from
in
start
the
to finish,
eShop.
which is
You
something
guessed
that
it,
I need
right
to
now. So go
fix.
check it out. While you're in
I would
the
love
eShop,
to
don't
play
forget to
through all of
download
those, especially
recently
with
released
that
demos for Lego
collection
Batman 2,
that's out.
DC Superheroes, and The Amazing Spider-Man. We also have demos coming soon for
Lego
Rhythm Thief
Batman,
from
I
Sega and
loved.
Heroes of Ruin from Square Enix. So I
Heroes
hope you
of
come back
Ruin,
regularly and check out
I
what's
actually
new.
played a
As
lot
Reggie
of,
said, the
which I
great
think is
new
like a
content for
game that
Nintendo
no one
3DS
cared
is
about.
coming in XL
But
size
I had a
waves
lot
for
of
the
fun
rest
with
of the
that
year.
game.
Here's my buddy
It was
JC
one that
Rodrigo
of
from
the few that
Nintendo
was
Treehouse
really
to tell
great
you more.
for
If you watched us at E3,
playing
you
multiplayer.
probably know a lot about games like Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon and Paper Mario Sticker Star, both of which are coming to Nintendo 3DS later this year. But what don't you know about yet?
Paper
Well,
Mario, Luigi.
How about Professor Layton and the Miracle Mask?
Oh man,
This is the first installment
Professor
in this
Layton and the
portable
Miracle
puzzle
Mask.
franchise
I
developed
love that game.
exclusively for Nintendo 3DS and will launch in North America in November. The Professor Layton games are known for mixing mind-bending brain teasers with top-notch production values, and this game builds on that reputation. Fans and newcomers alike will enjoy a
Man,
new
I really
adventure
love the
with
Professor Layton
puzzle-solving
games.
duo of Layton and Luke.
There was a lot
and
of them
find
on
out
the
story
3DS
of
too.
Layton's high school days. Nintendo 3DS owners who have connected their systems to the internet will get the most out of this game, as we'll be releasing one downloadable puzzle a day for a full year, starting immediately after the game is released, at no additional cost. You know, I have more to tell you about Nintendo 3DS, but before
They're
I
just
do, the one and only
rattling them
Nate
off here. I can
Gilmore
barely
has
keep up.
something to share with you all.
I'm gonna have to go back and oh, a new Smash Bros. So this is before Smash Ultimate.
Thanks, JC.
This is
At E3 last year, we announced
Smash
we'll release a new
U,
game in the Super
Smash
Smash Bros. Series
3DS.
for Wii U and Nintendo 3DS. And today we'd like to share a little bit more about the game. We had originally planned to build a development team from scratch to create it, but the scope of the project,
again,
as
it's
well as our
funny
desire to
seeing
deliver
these
the
where
game
they're
to
just
fans
like
in a
in the
timely
Nintendo
manner,
office.
meant that we needed to take a different approach.
Let's just set up here in
Partnered
this
with
hallway
Namco
and,
Bandai
and
Games
film
and
this.
Namco Bandai Studio on this project, and we'll be leveraging their experience and expertise to bring the game to life. Of course, Super Smash Bros. Creator Masahiro Sakurai will act as game director, and will lead the production
All
as he
hell,
has on previous
Sakurai.
installments in the series. Alongside Mr. Sakurai, Masaya Kobayashi, who most recently worked on Go Vacation for Wii, and
Oh,
Yoshito
Go
Higuchi, who has
Go
directed the
Vacation.
Tales series before,
I love that game.
will lead a team of talented and experienced developers within Namco Bandai Studio. The team has been working on the game since Mr. Sakurai completed the development of Kid Icarus Uprising for Nintendo 3DS. And today we have special messages from Mr. Sakurai and Mr. Kobayashi that you can read on Nintendo.com.
Now, let's talk about another game that's a perfect fit with the new Nintendo 3DS XL. There's a new game in the Art Academy series coming soon, and it lets you express your creativity
that-
in new and fun ways.
That's not the Pokemon
This
one. I
isn't
think this
just
is just a normal
software that lets you draw on your Nintendo 3DS.
Art Academy game.
You get actual art lessons that teach you real-world drawing and painting techniques with pencils, paints,
I love the
and
concept of
pastels.
Art Academy. I
It's
wish
a great way
there
to
were more
improve
games
your
like
drawing
that.
skills, whether you're working on the next great masterpiece or you just want to send better swap notes to your friends.
I feel like they should have more games
The
on the
large
Switch that
screens
utilize
of
the
Nintendo
touch screen.
3DS XL let you literally go big with your creativity in a number of different ways.
And they should sell, I don't know if they sell stylus
That's a lot
that
of new
works with the
information
Nintendo
about
Switch. I
Nintendo
imagine they
3DS.
must, but
But we've also got
They
news
should.
for Wii. Everybody's favorite pink hero, Kirby, turns 20 this year. And we're celebrating by releasing Kirby's Dream Collection Special Edition for Wii. This special anniversary collection comes with 6 classic Kirby games, including my personal favorite, Kirby's Adventure, as well as a renewed collection of challenge stages
Very cool.
based on last year's
that's the thing about
Kirby's
Nintendo.
Return
They
Dream
love celebrating anniversaries. So today, right now, you know, there's a lot of debate going on about whether or not Nintendo is going to do anything for the Zelda's 35th anniversary. Because, yeah, I mean, I think more than any other company, Nintendo celebrates anniversaries for their games and their franchises. I mean, most notably, obviously, Mario 35th anniversary, which is still going on, ends at the end of this month. And I imagine that they didn't say anything on the day for the Legend of Zelda anniversary, but knowing Nintendo, I could see them ending Q1, which is at the end of April, and starting Q2, or I guess they'd be starting a new quarter essentially in a new year with a big bang. And I imagine Zelda deserves that treatment for the anniversary, especially because Breath of the Wild has been like a bestseller for Nintendo Switch for the day the Switch came out. It's been in the top charts every month, which is insane. That a game 4 years old now is still like regularly in the top 3 bestsellers on the eShop. So I would love to see more love for Zelda this year. We're getting Skyward Sword HD, which I am pumped for. I think a lot of people give that game crap when it doesn't deserve it. But, the more the merrier. I'm ready to see some more Zelda. Remakes, even ports I'd be happy with, but I'm very curious to see what we'll get. And it's cool to see that they're doing this for Kirby 20th anniversary. I did get this collection. I love the Kirby games. Yeah, I think they did a Mario one too. So that must have been the 25th anniversary. I think they had a Mario collection where they had some of the old games. And they had like a little documentary that went along with it, if I remember right, for the Wii. But it's cool to see that Kirby's getting that love too.
An interactive Kirby timeline, a music CD with songs from a variety of Kirby titles, and a full-color book chronicling the history of this video game icon.
Oh, little
now,
Kirby.
If you're a fan, you'll love it. But if you've only ever played Kirby in Smash Brothers or have never played a Kirby game at all, it's the perfect introduction to everything Kirby. Changing gears. If you were following along at E3, there's a good chance the Pikmin series has been on your mind lately.
A little love from E3
if you're looking
here.
for something to play on Wii right now, I would
Pikmin 3
strongly
was one of my
recommend
favorite
Pikmin 2,
Wii U
the
games.
latest addition to our Nintendo Selects line, now available at a suggested retail price of less than $20. The game was a critical smash when first released on Nintendo GameCube.
Critical smash.
And it now features a revamped control scheme using the Wii Remote and Nunchuck that makes it an absolute joy to play. But Pikmin 2 also features some truly incredible multiplayer. People who have played it love it, and it definitely has a very passionate
so funny the way they're like wording this.
Treehouse.
People who have played
Honestly,
it, they loved
Pikmin
it.
2 is the
I don't think it was a
perfect way to gear
huge
up for the
seller. I don't
release
think
of
Pikmin ever has
3
been.
on Wii U.
And it's so sad that
Back to
Pikmin
Nintendo
3
3DS
came out on the
and
Wii
new
U,
Super Mario Brothers
but
2.
they did re-release it for the
Coins
Switch,
have
which
always
is
been a
awesome.
big part
I
of the Super
love
Mario
that game.
Brothers
I love that
experience,
series, and I'm
but this game
glad that they
pushes the idea of
haven't
coin
given up on
collection
it.
to new
Maybe one day we'll get
extremes.
Pikmin 4,
It
but
features new stages
not holding
built
my
around
breath.
the idea of collecting as many coins as possible, and even features a new power-up that allows Mario to turn nearly everything around him into a seemingly endless source of cash.
Ooh.
A few weeks ago at E3,
I don't remember that at
we
all,
showed
but
off a new game mode
very
called
cool.
Coin Rush. This mode uses Street Pass to exchange your scores with other players, challenging them to see who can collect the most coins across 3 stages in the shortest amount of time. Oh yeah, one other detail. You'll only have 1 life in Coin Rush, so it's a delicate balance of risk and reward that will help you net the best scores. And it'll keep you coming back for more, all the time. Want to see more on how new Super Mario Bros. 2 goes coin
did
crazy?
Coin Rush keep me coming
Let's
back
check
for
out a
more?
video.
I don't think it did.
The sequel to New Super Mario Bros. Has arrived for Nintendo 3DS.
So tiny.
New Super Mario Bros. 2. And this time around, it's all about the coins. Discover all new ways to collect coins. Like gold rings.
I would like to replay this
Touching a
game.
gold ring will turn all
I
of
think
your
they had
enemies into gold. And you'll get
The
coins for
New
defeating
Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. New Super Mario Bros. Wii Deluxe came
them.
out
The new gold
for the
block
Switch,
turns
and I really
Mario
enjoyed
into a
playing that.
veritable coin factory. If Mario
A lot of
wears it
people
on his
also
head, coins will start
don't really
popping
look
out.
that fondly on these
And
games,
if he
but I think
runs
they're
at full
fun.
speed,
I mean, they're
the
not
amount of coins
quite the full
increases.
experience that you would get from a
And let's
mainline
not forget
Mario
about
game,
Gold
but
Mario,
they're fun 2D
who
platformers.
can throw gold fireballs that turn
Especially when you
blocks
play with
into
other people, I
coins.
think they're a lot of fun.
But that's just the beginning. There are many more coin-related items and features that can be found throughout the game.
Coin Rush.
In the new Coin Rush mode, you'll play 3 randomly selected courses back to back, collecting as many coins as possible. you'll need to use all of your coin collecting and speed running skills to come out on top. Your remaining time and your position on the goal pole at the end of the course.
Yeah, Mario's like
will be
off the
converted
screen. He
into
jumps so
coins.
high. This
Once
makes me
you've
want to play my
completed the coin
3DS,
rush,
just looking at
you can
this.
Save your record and share it with other players via Street
The thing
Pass.
is, I don't think I actually got a
Records
3DS
received
XL
through
at this
Street Pass can
point.
then be challenged.
If I remember right, it wasn't until maybe
New Super Mario Bros.
June?
2 also tallies every coin you collect.
I don't think it was this
So you
year
can
though,
keep
because
track of
I
how
got
many
the
you've collected
Animal
since you
Crossing
first started the
3DS
game.
XL, which released with New Leaf,
You have what it takes to
which
collect
I think was
1 million coins.
2013 in the
Good
US.
luck.
So it wasn't at this time, which I believe this
New
was
Super Mario
March
Brothers 2.
ish. No, it can't
New
be,
Super Mario Bros. 2 launches on August 19th.
because this is this is
It's
June.
the perfect showpiece for a Nintendo 3DS XL.
So it must have been another year,
It's
because I
also
don't
the
think.
first handheld Super Mario Bros. Game to feature full local co-op play through the entire
Yeah, so
game.
the 3DS
So
XL
you
must have
and
come
a
out
friend
this
can play
year,
through the whole
and
thing
then I didn't get it
start to
until the
finish.
next
Before I
year.
finish, I'd also like to share a bit about the new Fire Emblem game coming for Nintendo 3DS
Oh, wow.
that we revealed at E3.
Oh man, Fire
This is
Emblem
turn-based
Awakening,
role-playing strategy at its finest, and an
one of my
entirely new
favorite
entry in the
games
series.
of all times.
It blends all the best game design features of past
It's
Fire
funny
Emblem
seeing this, like,
installments
early
into
build of
one
it.
Ultimate Quest, and it's coming next year.
And it's
Back to
coming
you, Reggie.
next year.
Thanks, JC.
See, that's when I think the
Speaking of
3DS
New Super
really
Mario
hit its
Brothers
stride.
2, that game has
Fire
a
Emblem
very
Awakening,
strong link to
Animal
our
Crossing New
ongoing
Leaf.
efforts to seamlessly connect players to their favorite game experiences through the internet. You already know that on August 19th, the game kicks off a new initiative for us in which you'll be able to get the full game both in stores as a packaged product or as a download. But what we haven't yet shared is that we'll be making new downloadable Coin Rush stages available for purchase after the game comes out.
Available for purchase.
After our
Interesting.
developers finish working on the main game,
It's
and
funny
make
because I
no
think at this
mistake,
point
out of
they
the
were still
box,
like
this is a full-featured
being
Mario game, as
introducing
full-featured as we've ever made.
that a concept
They'll
to people
turn their
like you can
attention to
buy
making
games
even more
on your
stages
system.
so that you could keep playing
true
Coin
game
Rush
changer.
mode again and again. I can't say how or when we'll be releasing
And
these
Nintendo
stages,
dipping its
since
feet
they
into
haven't even been
DLC.
made yet. But we're excited about the possibilities
controversial
that
move at
online
this time.
connectivity provides for helping players get more
How far
out of
we've
the
come in
games
10
they
years.
already love the most. The Fire Emblem game we're releasing in 2013 is another game that'll feature robust.
Look at that logo. I don't
add-on
think that's anything
content
what the logo
that's
actually looks
only
like.
available as
That
a
must be the
download.
original
And we'll
logo.
have more information on that in the future. And if August 19th is just too long for you to wait, here are a few more things coming up in the Nintendo eShop that we think will help make the wait a little more bearable. First, we'll be making Super Mario Land, Mario's first ever handheld adventure, available for a download.
That's another game
at
I
a
want to
special
like
price
revisit.
of
I played that when I
$2.99,
was
starting Friday,
a
June
kid,
22nd,
essentially.
through Sunday, June 24th.
And I feel like
Next up, we've got an
there's a lot in
exciting
that game that
July
I would
plan
love
for the
now.
eShop. Starting
I
on
don't think it's
July
available
5th
though on the
and
Switch.
running through August 1st, we'll be bringing you 2 great new virtual console games every week. Some of the featured games include
The virtual
Legend of
console,
Zelda,
that's what I mean. People
Kirby's
love
Pinball Land,
virtual console.
and Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3, just to name a few. So be sure to check it out and come back every week to see what's new. For those of you who enjoy taking 3D photos with Nintendo 3DS,
Back in the
we're giving
3D
you
photos.
a new way to see the
Remember the
amazing
3D
pictures
video
taken by other
announcement?
users. Starting July 2nd at photoshowcase.nintendo.com, you'll be able to submit 3D photos for a chance to be part of a curated online photo gallery
Oh my gosh.
called 3D Photos of the Week. The gallery will not only exhibit the best-looking 3D photos,
Oh my
but it
god.
also lets viewers vote and share them through social media. Along with the gallery, we're also including some tips.
I want to be part of the
that'll help you
showcase,
put
the
together
3D
some
photo
truly
showcase.
amazing 3D photos. We've shared a lot already in this installment
picture
of
of my
Nintendo
face.
Direct, but we're not done yet.
Looking
Let's talk
terrifying.
about Pokemon. With the recent release of Pokemon Conquest for Nintendo DS,
Pokemon Conquest.
2012 has already been a
I don't
big
know if
year
I've
for
played that
Pokemon,
one.
and it's only getting bigger. The Nintendo DS games, Pokemon Black version 2 and
Love
Pokemon
those
White
games.
version 2, the successors to the acclaimed Pokemon Black and Pokemon White versions, will launch this fall.
I think those games are really underrated in the Pokemon franchise. Black and White 1 and 2.
Back to the vibrant Unova region in a new adventure. The game is packed with Pokemon from previous games in the series that you'll encounter right from the start, and new Pokemon trainers and new gym leaders to battle. These games are playable in 2D on Nintendo 3DS.
Is that Pokemon
Y?
First
time we've ever released
X and Y?
a direct
Is that
follow-up
what I think
to a
those are,
core Pokemon role-playing game.
or is that from
Believe
Black
me,
and White?
you don't want to miss them. And for those of you who'll be playing Pokemon Black 2 and Pokemon White 2 on Nintendo 3DS or Nintendo 3DS XL, you're in for a treat. We have two
What's our
titles
treat,
that'll
Reggie?
be available for purchase from the eShop this fall that'll help you get the most out of these massive games.
Look at that Goron over on the right
Pokemon
side of the
Dream
screen.
Radar lets you search for Pokemon through augmented reality. And it's the Pokemon that you catch
Oh
that
my
can be transferred
God.
into your Pokemon Black 2 and Pokemon
I don't
White
even
2.
recognize what Pokemon that
The
is.
game includes hard-to-find Pokemon you might have trouble catching in other games, like Tornadus, Thundurus,
Oh.
and Landorus. And these will be featured in entirely new forms that you'll find first
Oh,
in Pokemon
so that's what
Dream
that
Radar.
was.
And if you're wondering how you'll keep track of all the Pokemon you catch, Pokédex 3D Pro is the solution. It's an interactive database with information about every known
Is this
Pokemon,
like Pokemon
which will
Home before
enhance your
Pokemon
Pokemon
Home?
Black 2 and Pokemon White 2 play experience by detailing when Pokemon evolve, what moves they can learn, and how they stack up against other Pokemon in battle. Pokédex 3D Pro also lets you take photos of your favorite Pokemon in the real world through its unique use of augmented reality. That's a lot of information about Pokemon, and there's even more to learn before these
I'm
games
overwhelmed.
launch.
Actually, there's been a
We'll
lot
be
of
able to
information in
share
this
specific
direct
launch
period.
dates for all our upcoming Pokemon games soon, but I know you're eager for
Like
more.
almost too
So
much. I
let's
don't
take
think
a
I'm going to be able to write
first
it all
look
down.
at the English gameplay footage for Pokemon Black 2 and Pokemon White 2.
Okay, so
right
this
now.
isn't. I don't know why I thought X and Y. This is just. I didn't even realize that these games came to the 3DS. This brings me back. Makes me want to play these games.
From Nintendo 3DS XL to the outstanding array of new games launching throughout the rest of the year, there's really no experience comparable to the handheld gaming fun of Nintendo 3DS. If you don't yet have a Nintendo 3DS, there's never been a better time to get on board. I hope you've enjoyed everything we've shared with you today, and thanks for watching.
I mean, I have to agree. I think they have a really good lineup here. But I don't think I don't think it convinced me at the time. I think I was still thinking about it. So usually I go on here and I write all the announcements, but there was just so many in that. I don't even think I remember half of it. I'm gonna have to go back through and watch it again when I'm not live and write everything down. But you know what? Honestly, I think this is going to be C tier because I think that was pretty good. I don't think they really let enough time for everything to breathe in that presentation. So I will say that, like, I mean, they just rattled off one thing after another, which I think is fine. But there was just so much information, and I think this is coming off of E3. So they already talked about some of these games there. So this is really more just a view into what's coming in the next year for them, and talking about the 3DS XL, which is just a beautiful, beautiful piece of hardware. Gotta love it. And one of the greatest handhelds of all time. So, I mean, overall, I think it was good. And like I said, I think they were definitely starting to get in that groove now, which is pretty impressive. We're only 4 in, and I feel like they've found a good presentation style. They had some weird parts in there where they were filming in front of that terrarium and they were just like setting up in the hallway to film it. But I think for the most part, it was pretty solid. I think it gave us the information we needed to know. We had release dates, or at least release windows. We had a good lineup of software, and we got to see some new hardware. Pretty dang good. I mean, it's not every day you get all that in one direct. So yes, this was June 2012, probably a week after E3. So I'm just gonna peek forward here, because I think there is an Animal Crossing specific Nintendo Direct. I mean, did I really wait this? Okay, oh no, so okay, so this is the Animal Crossing Nintendo Direct for New Leaf, but this is when they released the DLC for that, which had Harvey in it, hence this live action thumbnail shot. So I guess there isn't another one that has it. I thought there was another one that had just Animal Crossing focus. It doesn't look like that's the case. So I don't think I bought a 3DS XL in 2012. I think it was 2013, but we'll see. But yeah, I think overall, I think that was pretty solid. I think C tiers is a good place for it for now. And we'll do, oh man, we have a mini coming up, only 5 minutes long. Short and sweet. So I think that's what we'll do. I think we'll watch one more big one, which is a Wii U Direct. So this was September, I think it said. Yep, September. So this is a few months after E3. They're kind of, Nintendo always does one around September time, because then they can set up, you know, what their holiday releases are going to be. So I presume that that's what this is going to be, and it looks like it's going to have a big focus on the Wii U. Let's see if it's better than the one that we just watched with the pre-E3 2012. Hopefully it is, because that was rough. Okay, let's play this. Yeah, the Wii U. One thing I don't miss is that white
Ladies and gentlemen,
plastic.
please welcome Nintendo of America.
It just does not age well.
Chief Operating Officer Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Reggie Fils-Aimé. Oh my God, look at him, the boss.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for spending some time with us today. This is a day that many of us have been looking forward to for
Give this a
quite
little more
while.
volume here. He's
And
kind
I
of
hope
quiet.
that includes all of you here with us today in New York City, as well as all of you watching via video. Even with all that's been said about Wii U so far, we know there's still key questions to be answered. By the time we're done here on stage, we hope to.
It looks so much better in black.
So let's
I mean, seeing them play with that white gamepad, ugh,
Wii U arrives in U.S. stores
just not
in another
good looking.
66 days. And I won't ask you to do the math. That makes launch day here in America Sunday, November 18th.
Okay.
Who won the bet?
I mean, that's like always the time that new consoles release. It's like right before Black Friday. Perfect time to get it in for the holidays. But I wanted to pause here because I miss these live presentations. I know Nintendo Directs typically don't have them. So this is like still when they're doing like E3 style events. And it was just, oh man, the meme potential. I mean, already you can kind of see there's that like nervous excitement of presenting in front of people. But anyway, let's hear about
the next
Wii
Nintendo
U
innovation in home
release.
gameplay arrives in time to take advantage of the key holiday selling season throughout the Americas. On November 18th,
yeah, and you can tell they're still talking to like
across the country,
investors,
across the
people in the
Americas
industry
look just
that want to
like
know
the
about this
opening
kind of
video
stuff.
that you saw. Those were the actual reactions of people who visited the Wii U Experience Tour this summer. many of those visitors were already familiar with the innovation that Nintendo has brought to gaming. The touchscreen of Nintendo
They did look pretty
DS,
happy.
the 3D screen of
I would look
Nintendo
that happy though if I
3DS,
was getting hands-on on a brand
the
new
introduction
Nintendo
of
system.
motion control
I'd be
of
going
the Wii
nuts.
Remote. In fact, maybe it was our history of innovation that attracted them to the tour in the first place, to see if the Wii U gamepad could really make that same kind of difference. By the time we're done here today, I think most of you will have answered that question for yourselves.
People in the audience holding
So,
up their
Let's
cameras
deal
to
with the next
film
few
Reggie.
bottom-line specifics. On November
Make sure you turn your
18th,
flash off.
Wii U shoppers will have the chance to choose from 2 different configurations here in the Americas. The first is called
See, like, what?
the basic set. It includes
This
the
is
Wii
again
console,
like more
the Wii U
confusing
gamepad, an AC adapter for
marketing,
each,
where it's like you
a
can buy
high-speed
2 different
HDMI
versions,
cable, and
but they're called the
sensor
same
bar.
thing.
And
Like
as
the
you can
Wii U
see,
basic set.
every component is white.
So I think the big difference is the memory.
For the deluxe set, it's full dress black.
Yeah.
And it includes
You basically get
everything in the basic set,
the crappy
plus
white version that
additional
has
storage
barely
memory,
any memory,
a
or you get
gamepad
the
charging
sleeker
cradle,
black
and a
version, which
stand
has
for the
way
gamepad
more
and
memory.
the console.
Oh, and you get
the deluxe set
the
also
stand.
includes Nintendo Land, the best possible way to quickly
So I
understand
didn't get
how
this
Wii U
version
changes
either, so I
games.
actually got the Legend of
And
Zelda
purchasers
Wind
of the
Waker
deluxe set will also
Special
be enrolled
Edition Wii
in
U,
the deluxe
which is beautiful.
digital
It has like a
promotion.
nice gold
With it, players will receive points
Zelda
for
themed
each digital
pattern
download
around the
that they
gamepad,
purchase.
which is really the only
And
difference.
those points can
But
be
it was
used
it,
for
it
the
came with the
purchase of
stand
future
and
digital content
it did not. I don't
from
think
the
it came with
Nintendo
Nintendo
eShop.
Land though.
More details
It
will
came
be
with
announced
Wind
soon.
Waker obviously installed on it.
Some of you might be wondering why we don't see any Wii remotes or Wii nunchuck controllers included in the 2 sets. The reason is that Wii U already works with your existing Wii controllers, and almost all Wii games.
I think that
and
is a cool
accessories.
idea. Like there's
In
no
the
need to
United
package new
States
ones in
alone,
because you already
we have sold
because
more
it's just
than
you can
100
essentially just set it up and
million
keep using
Wii
it.
remote controllers, and more than 65 million nunchuck controllers. So there are already plenty of compatible controllers.
Yeah, I
out
mean they
there
had
in
such a
the wild,
huge
and
Wii
we don't
install
want
base at this
people
point
to
that they were just
require
hoping that
repurchasing those
all those people would
accessories
just
that they already
turn
own.
around and buy the Wii U.
And if you're one
Basically
of
a
a
more powerful
handful of
machine,
consumers
more
out
memory,
there without one of
works
these
with the same
controllers,
controllers. You get a brand
we'll be
new
selling them
controller
separately.
that has a
And in
screen
fact,
on it.
Wii U branded versions of the Wii Remote and nunchuck controllers should start appearing on store shelves in the next few weeks.
But like I don't think that idea is
The basic
terrible,
set
but
will carry a manufacturer suggested retail price.
I just don't think the demand was there because the install base had so many people who
the
didn't
deluxe
really
set,
weren't really
It's
tapped into this kind of thing.
$349.99.
They were like, well, why do I need to get this? Why do I need to spend $300 to get
We've
this?
deliberately answered most of the big questions right off the bat so that you can sit back and enjoy everything else to come.
I'm ready.
happy
I'm ready
to
to sit
say
back
That's
and
quite a lot.
enjoy everything that's to come.
We've got new game announcements
This is a long one,
from here
so
at
buckle
home
up.
and from
We got like an
overseas.
hour to go.
We'll have a short live demo of a franchise that a lot of Nintendo owners have been waiting for. And we'll show Wii U in a way you haven't considered before. And before it's all over,
I haven't
we'll
considered.
look at the full and very robust
Show me,
list
Reggie.
of Wii U games
Show me the world of the Wii U.
available either right on launch day or coming soon thereafter. And with that, let's
Like
talk
that
some
pause
games.
with Reggie just looking straight forward.
As you saw in our opening video, since E3, some people have had a much longer look at Nintendo Land. And I think it's safe to say
I love
the more
Nintendo
they've
Land.
played, the more they've understood how it realizes the potential of Wii U and the gamepad controller. Among media, including some of the folks right here, the comments we're seeing are
See,
like
this is
these.
still more like
Paradigm shifting
investor-friendly
potential.
talk to me.
A pretty
it's like, people are
robust,
saying good things about
super
this.
fun package
See the reception we're
designed
getting?
around cooperation and friendly, fun competition. The potential for a new flavor of cooperative play is huge. And my favorite, rarely has something so simple been so incredibly clever.
I mean, that is like what Nintendo does best,
course,
is taking very
you're gonna
simple
wanna decide
concepts
that for
and
yourself.
iterating on them and making
And one
them
of the things you're going to
fun
want
and
to
challenging.
consider is the new multifaceted Metroid attraction that lives right inside Nintendo Land, along with 11 other attractions. Bill Trinan from our Treehouse group is just back from Nintendo headquarters in Japan, where he got a long look at the latest update. So I'm going to ask both Bill and Corey Olsvary to come up here and share the highlights of how Metroid has been reimagined for Nintendo
Oh,
Land
Metroid.
and Wii U.
Nintendo, why don't you say anything about Metroid today?
Thank you, Reggie.
Oh man, what
Good
kind of
morning,
gems are we going to see in this?
Corey, you ready to have some fun?
Let's do it.
All right. Now, I've got a few things that I want to tell you about this morning, and I'm going to try to be quick. But the one realization that I hope you all come away with is the notion that I think some of these individual attractions here in Nintendo Land, and specifically I
Bill
mean the
looks a
ones
little
that we're
nervous.
calling
I don't
team
blame him.
attractions, have the kind of depth, challenge, variety, and fun that is going to keep you coming back a lot, even if you consider yourself a core gamer. And I say this based on my time playing the game. And I want to show you this morning using just one mode of the team attraction.
I love the
Metroid
rig they
Battle.
have set up to get that
That's what Corey and I are
connected.
going to play. Now, you probably saw the foundations for Metroid Battle at E3 2011, but the mode has come a long way since then.
And they choose the
And
white
in fact, what we're
Wii
showing
U
you
to
this
use
morning
up
is an
there.
all-new mode. And actually, I should clarify, it's Metroid Blast. I said Battle. It's Metroid Blast. But this is an all-new mode, and it's, in fact, we're not even battling. These are cooperative missions called Mission Assault. And we've got waves of enemies that we need
Poor
to take
Bill
out. You can
has
see
to be
Corey
up there
fighting on the
giving a
ground on
speech
the
while
main
playing a
screen.
game. I would not be able to do that.
And I'm taking some
I can
fire
barely do
here
one
from
thing
some
at once.
missiles. You can see me controlling the ship up on the side screens here. And I'm using the gamepad to do that. And of course, the gamepad is central to this experience. I've got full control. The depth of control is fantastic because what I've got here is, oh, look at that. You've got Corey now grappling from the ship, and he can shoot at the
Okay,
enemies
yes, this is
while I
like a
fly
little
him around the
confusing,
level.
even though I know what's
So we'll
going
go
on
ahead
here.
Plop you up here,
So
Corey.
Bill is
Let you
controlling
drop
the
down there.
gamepad on the
So
lower
I'm
left here.
controlling the ship using dual analog for movement front to back and side to side. I'm also controlling my elevation.
Looks like there's some
And of course,
gyro
while Corey's on the ground, he's going to be using his
controls
charge-up
maybe
shots.
happening here.
He may need to dodge enemy attacks, and he may.
This is
also,
not one of the Nintendo Land
be
games
using
I
his
played that
grappling-
much.
His grapple beam, as he did to grab the ship, or to grapple around the environment. Man, these guys are shooting a lot of missiles this morning. So I've been talking.
You can hear
quite a
like
bit here,
sweating
but,
as they're playing,
apart
trying
from
not to
all of
die.
this, I think what's a lot of fun and really great about this game is the fact that we're going to have to use all of our abilities because there's a variety of different enemies, and you can see that some of them require different tactics, like these cyclones that we've got here, which if I just shoot at, they're going to kind of bounce off.
You just shot me.
Sorry about that.
He just shot the other guy. That's
But
hilarious.
we've also got some enemies that are a little bit smarter than others, which we should be seeing in just a second if we can power through this next wave. Why don't you grab that heart there, buddy? Okay. So I'm checking on my radar here. It kind of gives me an indication of where these new guys are. And you can see that these are Zabishans, obviously from the Metroid series. They're a little bit smarter. If I fire a missile, they're at least smart enough to run out of the blast radius. But strategically, that also helps me out because what I can do very quickly is kind of scatter them. Which
This is kind of hard to like. Which one do you want to watch? Do you want to watch the gamepad? I mean, I'm not even watching that. I'm watching the TV one. It's a little more dynamic than Bill
now, as I mentioned, this is
controlling
just
this
one mission in assault mission.
ship.
We've got another wave of enemies here. I think this is hopefully the last one. But this one is really, it's about 8 missions in, and that's not even halfway
The thing
through
with
what you're gonna
Nintendo
find
Land
just in this
is that
mode.
it's not like the most
And of
thrilling
course,
thing to
Corey and
watch.
we're here playing,
Like I don't think that's the
cooperatively
game I
together,
would use to
which
show
we can
off the
do
Wii U.
with more than just 2 players if we want.
Especially because it's
But
using
the
like
other great thing about
Mii's,
Assault Mission is that I
and
can play these alone
it's
if
not
I
really
want,
taking
and I can
full
do that
advantage
either on the
of
ground
the
or
new
I can do
graphical
that in the air.
power that the Wii U has over the Wii.
Man, talking and playing is not as easy as it may seem.
Like, why not?
All
Why
right,
not
I'm
use
gonna
Pikmin
try to
3?
take these guys out. Oh, uh-oh. I think first thing I'm going to do is grab an item because I could probably use it right about now.
I feel like that would have
Running a little bit
been so
low
much
on
better. I
health.
don't know
There we
what
go.
state that was in at this point,
All right, so I'm going to zoom in because there we go. Nice.
but something that would kind of showcase more of what
The other thing
a
that's
console
nice is
could
using
do
the
rather
motion
than
to aim, it
essentially
feels
what
really
a game that
natural.
we could play on the Wii.
And I think it's just perfect here.
And the difference is
Let's see if we can get these guys.
you have the
taken care
gamepad
of,
where you
Corey.
can control
Oh,
another character
I can
essentially.
grab
So it's
enough
not even
of
really
these
taking full
items.
advantage of the gamepad's capabilities either.
now separate from Assault Mission, the Metroid Blast attraction is also going to feature 2 additional modes, and those are also multiplayer. One is the ground versus air. Looks like we've got one enemy.
I don't think there's
left.
anything
This
wrong
guy's
with this
right over
game,
there.
and like I said, I love
and then
Nintendo
the other is
Land,
gonna
but
be a ground-only
is this really
multiplayer
the game that you
free-for-all.
want to be the first one that you show off? I
So
don't
this
think
attraction
so.
alone, you know, from my perspective, is almost going to feel like it's its own game.
And you
And that's
can
just one of the
argue
many
that
attractions in
maybe
Nintendo
Wii
Land. Today, you're gonna
Sports
also
wasn't the game
see
to show
full
off for the
range of
Wii,
experiences
but
that Nintendo Land
it
has to
was
offer. Some smaller than others.
so
But you
innovative
are
to
gonna
see that.
today how the competitive
Like
attraction,
motion
Mario
controls,
Chase, has
no one had
progressed
done
since we
them
first showed it.
well
You're
at
gonna get
that
a look
point.
at
And so
another of the
just to see
fun
something so
and maybe a
simple
little bit simpler solo attractions. This one's going to be Balloon Trip
in action
Breeze.
was just like,
And
oh, that
personally,
looks like
I
it
hope
would
you
be
sit down
fun.
to play it because I
Everyone
feel
knows
that
what
that
tennis
game
is,
has
you know?
probably one of the most
Everyone knows what
underappreciated
bowling
pieces
is.
of music in the history of video
Everybody knows
games.
what golf
And
is.
I know that at least
I think
a
that's
few
like a
of you out
much
there must
more
agree with me. Now,
universal
there's one more
way to
team
show off
attraction, and these again, the team attractions being the
how
deeper
cool
ones.
and how
One more
fun
of
it
these
could
that
be.
You're going to see, and this is called
Whereas this, I
Pikmin
like this just
Adventure.
doesn't
This is an
do the same. It
action-based
doesn't
multiplayer
demonstrate
attraction.
why
It's
I would want
fast-paced,
to use
and
the
it is
gamepad,
really fun,
how it
but it's
innovates on
fun
the
in a
genre,
different way from the strategic gameplay that we see in the
how
main
it
Pikmin
differs
series.
from the Wii even.
Now, there's another game that I want to talk to you about today that you will be playing on launch day, and that's New Super Mario Bros.
Okay,
U.
see, this is something that they
Obviously,
should
we've told you
focus
it's an
on.
all-new game, and it has all-new power-ups, including what you see here, which is Flying
Like
Squirrel
this,
Mario.
this looks much better, but again, it's just like
You also are going to see, obviously,
a sequel
the baby Yoshis
to a
that we
Wii game.
introduced at E3. You may even
And
see
it's like
some
it's not
nice
doing
new
anything that's like
abilities for
mind-blowing.
old power-ups.
It's literally just more
You
of
see right here.
New Super Mario Bros.
Obviously, we've also told you that with New Super Mario Bros. U.
So I think this is like
you
a
can
safe
play
bet.
some
Like you
modes
know
as your
people will
Mii
be interested
character,
in this based
or
on what
as
they
any Mii
played with the
character
first
that you've
one.
created.
But it's also
That's not all that's
2D,
new. This
so it's
time,
not
the
like
map
super
itself features
complex.
something new, a wholly interconnected world. Now, this is a simple addition to the New Super Mario Bros. Series, but it's one that the fans have been wanting to see for years.
Interesting. So the
There are a
first
lot
one
of
didn't
levels in
have
this game and a lot of secrets to uncover. But what really sets
this
the game
setup.
apart is once again the Wii U gamepad and the new modes. We introduced Boost Mode at E3, and today we want to tell you about Boost Rush Mode.
So I'm curious,
In Boost Rush
like
mode,
what
you're
the
racing to
gamepad does for
complete
this too.
force
That's so
scrolling
different.
levels as quickly as you can. And as you collect coins, the scroll speeds up. And that enables faster times, but it also is going to up the challenge for you. Now, Boost
remember
Rush
that.
is where the gamepad's boost block feature really turns
Oh,
from
okay, so
simple
here we
aim
go.
to super strategy.
This
And
is
I'll tell you right
showing
now,
what
co-op speedruns
the Wii U
are gonna
gamepad,
require serious
how it
skill
makes a
and
difference.
coordination. And I think Mario fans are really
and
gonna
essentially
love it.
differentiates
We've
itself
also
from the
added
first.
another new mode that I
game.
can tell you about today for the first time, and these are challenges. These are objective-based mini-levels that are going to test your Mario skills.
God, time
and
trials.
Also going to help you be a super player.
No.
Now, some of these objectives may just require you
Anything
to
but
complete a
time
level within
trials.
a certain time limit, or they may ask you to try to complete the level without ever touching the ground, or any number of other objective or skill-based challenges. And these are the kind of challenges that
See, like
Mario
I hate to
fans
keep harping
want,
on this, but
and we're doing it
it
in
just
ways
it
that
didn't
they've never
demonstrate what the
experienced.
gamepad can do.
And then with Miiverse integration, it's going to give you the
Miiverse
opportunity to
integration,
share those
however,
newly developed Mario
genius.
skills with other players.
I miss
So we're going to go
Miiverse
into more
integration.
detail on Miiverse in New Super Mario Bros. U and other games as we get closer to launch. Now there's one last launch window game that I want to touch on today.
Pikmin?
And that's Lego City Undercover.
Lego City.
There she is. Lego City.
Lego Island
Now as we showed at E3,
was one of my
the
favorite
vehicles,
games as a kid.
Locations of the popular Lego City brick sets come to life in a massive world. And you're going to go undercover
I never
as
played
Chase
this.
McCain.
Hi there.
I think this is still like an ongoing series. At least they had a game on
You're
the
going to use
Switch.
the Wii U gamepad to track down criminal mastermind Rex Fury and put a stop to the crime wave that has swept the city.
But
Now, as a big
man,
fan
I
of
just
the Lego games
this is
and
just
the
like
Lego
not
bricks,
the
happy
launch
to
lineup you
announce
want to see.
that
It's
a
another
special
2D
Chase
Mario
McCain
game.
Lego minifigure is going
It's
to
a
come as
Lego
pre-order
game,
bonus while
and
supplies last. You're gonna
it's
wanna pre-order
Nintendo
early
Land, which they
to ensure
didn't
you don't
really.
miss
They
out on
only
that
showed
special
us the
minifigure
Samus
and all the
minigame.
action, fun, and comedy that fills Lego City
Like,
Undercover.
would you want to spend $300 on this new system,
How many
plus
copies have you had?
another 60 to buy one of these games? I just don't. It just the value proposition just isn't
Okay,
there,
you've had enough.
in my opinion.
So hopefully that gives you a clearer picture of the range of experiences in Nintendo Land, what's new about New Super Mario Bros. U,
It wasn't
and
really
why
that
you're
big
gonna
of a
wanna run out and
range.
get Lego City as quickly as you can.
I hate to say it.
These games are fun, but that's only a taste of what you'll be playing and what we have to share today. Reggie?
Reggie, take it away.
Thanks, guys. Nice job, Bill. You didn't die this time.
Thank you.
Reggie ribbing Bill before he gets off.
So that's just
Everyone look
the
on their
start
laptops. Yeah,
of
this
the
is
game
definitely
news
like
that
a
we have for you today.
press
There's a lot
event.
more to come. But first, let's break for something
Investor
completely
stuff
different.
like that.
And I mean for Nintendo something entirely different. And as a matter of fact, it's probably the most different non-gaming initiative Nintendo has ever introduced.
Non-gaming initiative?
It's different.
What you talking about, Reggie?
But it's also a progression of the Nintendo experience in
What you
people's
talking about, Reggie?
living room. Today, Wii is in tens of millions of households, primarily
That's
as a
crazy.
game console.
Tens of
attached
millions.
To that big screen where the family gathers. Now, we're expanding with a broader entertainment experience. At E3, we talked about the 3 pillars supporting Wii U. Games, Miiverse, and something we didn't say much at all about back then, the one called entertainment. Well, it's time to bring that
exciting.
third pillar
Is this Hulu Plus
into
again?
focus.
I really want to see
Today,
Hulu
we
Plus
give
come
it
to Wii
its
U.
real name, and we're pleased to announce Nintendo TV. And after me and
Nintendo
Wii,
TV.
you probably could have guessed how we
Nintendo
spell it.
TV.
This is something we've been kicking around for a long time. And enthusiasm only grew as we saw Wii become the singular device that most people used to connect their
See,
TV.
man, I'm
to the
so
internet.
glad we're moving on from
But in
this
honesty, for
idea.
our idea to fully come to life,
This idea that you want a device that does everything for you in your living room. Like, so you essentially buy one console, it plays video games, it plays DVDs, it plays Blu-rays, you can get all your streaming apps on it. I think that the concept isn't a bad concept, but there's just so much competition on the market that I don't think that's ever going to happen, that you're going to have one device that does everything. And I think this is a bad trend, especially during this time where all the game companies were trying to lean into this and be that one system. So, I mean, the other one I think really leaned into it was Microsoft, where, they really wanted to be that singular system in your living room. And I think both from the Xbox One and the Wii U's success, I think you can see that people don't want that. They already have all these things. Like, they're not going to replace all of them and move on, or maybe they want something that specializes in one thing and it does it really well. So I think this was just I'm so sick of this concept that you need an all-in-one machine. It just doesn't work in my experience.
we had to wait for the right technology to come along.
And you can see it now.
And
Like,
with
the
Wii
Switch
U,
is so
it has.
successful, and it doesn't have any
In a
streaming
minute,
apps.
we're going to show you a deeper look so you can see for yourself. But first, let's take a look at a quick preview.
Like, the only streaming app that I personally use on my consoles is Crunchyroll, which is on the PS5. And only because I can't get it on my smart TV. That's like upbeat music. Find a way to watch your favorite TV shows. I don't remember Nintendo TV ever using it. I'm digging this music though. Oh yes, we got Glee. Was Dancing with the Stars on there? I hope it was. Yes, Hulu Plus! What we all want on our Nintendo systems. And your DVR. Man, this is just like painful to watch back. It's like, I just don't care about this. And the fact that they're ending on this, I don't know what else they're going to talk about because we're only like halfway through, but leaning into this part is just like, no, this isn't what we want. We want video games. Modern Family. Yes, another callback. So we had Modern Family and Glee. We need Dancing with the Stars. I might have to go back and rewatch and see if it popped up on there. Yeah. I hope I don't get in trouble for this music. It sounds royalty free, but you never know. This is another thing that, like, you can tell they're trying to appeal to an adult audience here. Like, your dad can watch his football on the gamepad. Like, what? Why? No one wants to do that. I think they were trying to, like, at this time, take a key from
the person who
cell
spent
phones,
too many
smartphones.
Of his waking hours figuring out how to power on this vision.
But smartphones were so much further along at this point.
Business at Nintendo of America.
It just didn't have a chance.
He's here with us today, so please help me welcome him on stage to make a full and proper introduction to Nintendo TV. Zach?
Yeah, more funky music. Zach Fountain. Director of Network Business.
So
I wonder if that's still a position at Nintendo. No offense, Zach.
And enjoy a little Nintendo TV. So Zach, how would you describe Nintendo TV?
Let's sit down and enjoy Nintendo TV in front of all of our investors and press.
Imagine a personalized program guide that tells you what's on Netflix, what's on Hulu Plus, what's on Amazon Instant Video, and what's on your DVR, and what's on your TV channels, all brought together in one guide.
Also, is it clever that it's Nintendo TV, like Nintendo Wii? I don't know if that was entirely necessary, but that's just nitpicking.
And then third,
I shouldn't go that
having
far.
a little fun with others by engaging with those moments that unfold on live TV with friends and others.
I want that royalty-free music back to rock too.
That's great. So let's see it in action.
Great. So we're
Let's see
looking
it.
at the
Let's see it in
homepage
action.
of Nintendo TV.
Play your
And
TV.
the first thing I'll point out is everything we're showing today is on the gamepad. Nintendo TV is truly a second screen experience, but just so you can see it a little bit easier, we're outputting it to the big screen. Before we actually explore through these main categories of favorites, TV
Yes,
shows,
teach us how to
movies,
navigate
search,
these
I want to point out the me
complex
in the upper left-hand corner.
icons here.
This is a personalized experience. So everyone in the household can
God, this is like
personalize
such
Nintendo TV
marketing
for their own
speak. It's
interests.
painful.
And as we
That's
go
the
through this
bad
demo,
part of
we'll be
these types
pointing
of
out exactly what that
presentations,
means.
was that they were so
Let's
heavy
go ahead and
on
get started. So I'm going to choose TV.
marketing speak.
And immediately you'll see
Wait,
obviously
let's look
TV
for it.
shows in this section, but again
There
reinforcing
is
the point that what
Dancing
you're
with the
viewing here
Stars. We have
is
Ellen.
based on
Thank
your
God we have
interests
Ellen
as well
DeGeneres.
as what's
Community's on
available
there.
your
I love Community.
sources. Live TV on your DVR and the
The
popular
nightly
services that
news.
you
Yeah, I
use,
want
all
to turn
brought
my
together
Wii U
in
on
one
to watch the
place.
nightly news.
I can also explore
Definitely
where we
something
are
I'm
in
considering when
the
I'm
section
buying
called
it for
Popular.
$300.
Tying back to your profile, popular may mean that your friends have favorited this show, or it might mean that it's just trending overall.
The
I
early
can look
days
at
of personalization.
Recommendations might mean
Breaking Bad.
Nintendo
Recommended
TV
by
is making a
Reggie.
recommendation, or in
Oh my
this
God,
case,
that's
it might mean
brilliant.
that Reggie
I wanna
is
take a
personally
screenshot of
recommending
that.
one of his favorite shows.
I'm a big Breaking Bad fan. It is true.
I can explore by my
Reggie.
favorite channels. So if I'm watching a few channels on a consistent basis, I can very quickly access them and see what's on. And then for those of you that want a truly retro view, we've got the old classic grid available to you as well. When I dive a little bit deeper, I know Modern Family is one of Reggie's favorites.
Modern
I
Family.
then see what episodes are available
Look at
again
Reggie.
on my sources. And of course, I can also see when there's an upcoming episode. In this case, Modern Family is having the season premiere in just a few days. Information is important as well, and we provided it in
I wonder, like,
context,
I
so
never
I
used
can
this.
also access
I wonder, like,
information
if all
related
this
to the
stuff was
show
really here
that I'm
and how
interested
good
in,
this was.
and also
I
have
can't imagine it was the
touch
fastest
access to other popular
performance-wise.
information sources. I have 4 icons at the bottom of the gamepad. The first is to add to your favorites. That's the gold star. And Modern Family is already in the favorites, so if it wasn't in the favorites, it wouldn't be gold. I can
This is
set a recording
thrilling. I'm
for a
glad we're
series or
spending
an
so much time
individual
on this
episode.
and not more
I
about
can
the new
see
games
friends
coming.
that have favorited this show, both from Miiverse as well as importing Facebook friends as well. And that last icon on the bottom is how Reggie would have sent his personal recommendation.
Reggie.
When I find an episode that I want to watch, it's as simple as touching the episode. And then I'm going to be presented with my viewing options. Again, spanning video applications on the Wii U, what's recorded on your DVR, and what's on live TV.
So really, here is the big innovation with Nintendo TV, bringing all of your services to one place for you to choose.
Here we go. More about the
your
all-in-one.
From Hulu Plus, from all of the different services that you participate
It's funny
in,
because
plus
pretty
live
much
TV.
All brought together.
all devices do that now.
Before we
The
actually
smart
start
TV
watching
does
the
it.
program, we're going to show a few other categories. So I'll head into movies. And just some slight differences in movies. I'm going to choose a movie here that interests me. And you'll see that because reviews
Transformers.
are important, we're going to have built-in
Look how
reviews that you
slow
can
it
easily
is.
access,
Is this supposed to be
as well as
loading?
you will see the ability to watch a trailer on the gamepad. So if you're watching something else on the main screen, you'll be able to watch that trailer on the gamepad to decide if you're going to watch that next. And again, similar to TV shows, once I'm ready to watch this program, I'm just going to touch and it's going to show the source that's available. In this case, it's Netflix.
Watch instantly.
On to sports. Sports looks different because for the sports fans in the audience, it has to because the score is of important context. You might want to tune into that show because it's tied in the fourth quarter and a few minutes left. So we're presenting that quick view as a game card, and we're also moving from your profile your favorite teams earlier in the list, so you can very quickly access them. Search, powerful and simple. Typed in baseball, it's going to pull what's available to me across movies and TV shows, and I can obviously scroll through and make a selection.
Again, pulling from all your available sources, whatever you subscribe to.
Last view of the 5 icons is favorites. And up to this point, we've really been in
This is
discovery,
thrilling
trying
stuff.
to find something new to watch. But favorites is very different. Favorites is directly linked to your profile. There's no recommendations in here. And this is basically Nintendo TV telling you, you have
It's not
these
the most
interests,
flattering
you have
me
these
I've
favorite
ever
TV
seen.
shows, movies, sports teams. This is what's on right now. This is what's on in a few minutes. This is what's just been recorded on your DVR. This is what's just been added to one of your popular services like Netflix. And as you saw in the video, I can also be on the couch with others in the family and quickly represent their interests as well, including bringing the entire family together and all those interests in one place to make a viewing decision if everyone's sitting together.
And again, all of this is personalized. So if you have a member of the family who doesn't want to input their profile, they could choose to opt out, and they don't participate in that part.
They have full control in their settings.
Exactly.
One last thing to show you from the main homepage is the built-in remote. And I love this because it's also going back to your profile, and it's automatically
this
adding
is
your
like
favorite TV channels
putting me to
the outer
sleep.
layer of the remote. So when you know where you're going, you can just, with a quick touch, be on your way. I can also interact with my DVR from this screen, as well as control simple aspects of my TV. So let's go ahead and watch something. So I'm going to go back into Modern Family. And we're going to go
The
ahead and watch the
performance
Halloween
is just
episode.
like, I can only imagine how slow that must have been
And
by
I'm gonna
the
choose a
end of the
TV
Wii
channel.
U's life cycle.
So now the view on the gamepad looks very different. So on these outer screens, you'll be seeing Modern Family begin to play. And what's happening now on the gamepad is Nintendo TV is capturing
Interesting.
those moments that actually happen on live TV. And it's capturing it in a few ways. It's providing you a thumbnail
Interesting.
and a description. And once that exists, once that a moment exists, I can then interact with these moments.
I'm very curious. I wish I knew
share
someone
by
who actually
commenting,
used this.
and based
So I
on
wonder
my
how well
profile
that
settings,
actually
that might
works.
share out to Facebook, Twitter, certainly
And how many
Miiverse.
shows actually had that? I can't imagine it was many.
I can indicate an emotion, how that specific moment made me feel. And then I can interact in other ways. I can obviously see other comments. I can take part in polls. I can get a pulse of
This
that
is so
broader
ambitious.
social buzz and other fun content as well. So you can just imagine this
And other
experience
fun
with
content
sports.
as well.
Before we go to sports, highlight that the episode has been going on, so things that happened even earlier before you tuned in would be highlighted. You could go back to just get a quick update as to what's happened in the show that you might have missed.
Yeah, Nintendo TV is not just generally synced to what program you're watching, it's synced to specifically where you are in that program. So again, if you joined in progress, to Reggie's point, you could move backwards and catch up.
So let's look at sports.
Oh God, do we need to? Do we need to look
So
at
again,
sports?
sports looks different because it needs to. And here the gamepad view looks very different. On the left-hand side, you've got all of that data that's important to deepen your experience in sports. I've got
I mean,
a
I
quick
just want
game
to take a
view.
look here at.
I can access stats,
So
players,
we
scores.
talked
and then, of
about
course, on the
video
right side,
games
the moments are still being captured. And within those
for about
moments,
15
again,
minutes.
I can interact.
We've almost gone just as
And I can
long
learn
on
more
the
about
TV
what
app
I've just seen.
for the Wii U.
So a combination of engagement and also learning more about what you're seeing on live television.
And the same feature, you could go back and see highlighted plays that you may have missed earlier in the program.
Absolutely. So that's an overview of Nintendo TV.
That's great.
Great.
So,
Let's move on.
Why don't you summarize for us? I mean,
Let's
what's
move
the
on from
big idea
Nintendo
with
TV.
I think as we've seen today, Nintendo TV is bringing together how you watch and what you watch into this one seamless second screen experience. And in the process, the point is to make it simple, again, to watch TV and also
Make it
have some
simple
more fun
again
as
to
well.
watch TV.
I also want to
You know
thank
what's
our
simple about
development
TV?
partners, i.TV, who've done
Turning
just a
on your
tremendous
cable
job of
box
bringing to life
and your
Nintendo
TV
That's great.
and being able to watch it.
Zach, thanks a million.
Thank you.
Not turning on your video game console, your TV, navigating to the app, finding what you want to watch, clicking on the service that you want to
we'll
watch.
be rolling out Nintendo TV
and then
in
sharing
the United
fun
States
content
and Canada, and we're
from
exploring
it
the
to all your
expansion
friends.
of the service throughout the Americas. There's some incredible stuff inside.
No offense, I love you,
TV,
Nintendo. I hope you don't
but I
hate me
should
for
also
this
point out
blasphemy
thanks
I've
to the
been
internet
speaking.
connection on the Wii U hardware, all of your YouTube and other web-based video are obviously all available as well. But as incredible as Nintendo TV is, just as amazing is the fact
I mean, I'm trying to
that you won't pay a penny more for it.
think of where this
Nintendo
belongs on the
TV is
ranking.
included in every Wii U purchase at no additional cost and with no monthly fee. And I'd like to stop to just put this in perspective for a moment. It's always been our goal to try and maximize consumer value by what we include with a hardware purchase. So it's only natural that the same strategy applies to Wii U, but in a significantly larger way. It's not just a high-definition console that will, again,
Yes, but you
change
should
the
talk
way
about
we
how it's
play.
high definition.
Wii U is also
You should
the only game
show,
console
here's
with
the
a
Wii. Here's what
seamlessly
this game looks like on the Wii. Here's what it will look like
integrated
on the Wii
second
U.
screen,
Like, show us
which
that.
itself features a
I think that would do
gyroscope,
so much more
an
than showing us
accelerometer,
this TV
and
app.
a camera. It also delivers an integrated online gaming community, Miiverse, and infrared connectivity, and video chat, also at no extra cost. And of course, all of those elements of Nintendo TV that you just saw. We've told you what the price is, but it's nearly impossible to put a proper price tag on the total value.
Oh,
For those of
Reggie.
you here in attendance
I
today,
think the
you'll
price
be
tag
able
is
to take a
$300.
Look at Nintendo TV for yourselves as soon as we're done. And Zach
It's funny
will be
because
around
isn't that what the
to
Switch
answer a few of
costs
your
too?
questions.
$300?
But now,
And the
let's
Switch
move
to me
back
is
to the
just like
games.
so much more of a value than this.
At E3,
As someone who
we
bought a
let you
Wii
know
U
that
and loved
Platinum
it.
Games was hard at work on Wii U. So let's take a look at what they've prepared.
Okay, let's see what this is. Question mark? Oh god. We're being shot at. Oh. Oh, is this Bayonetta? See this, that's more like it. That's what we need.
Bayonetta 2 is the sequel to the original Bayonetta.
Just a short, sweet
by Atsushi
teaser. But
Inaba
that's what
and
we've come to
directed
know and
by
love about
Yusuke
Nintendo Directs.
Hashimoto,
Is that type
the
of
producer
short
of
and
the
sweet
original
teaser
Bayonetta.
of a game that we all want to
It
see.
will be a Wii U exclusive,
The revival of a
published by
franchise.
Nintendo. And that may not have been the Platinum Games title that you were expecting, but we do have a new video for that game as well, including its final name.
The alien invasion of Earth will be met by a group of
Oh, this is Wonderful 101, right?
that number just 100 souls. 100 wonderful defenders of our world.
I think I've never played this game, but I know it's beloved by a lot of people.
Fists will erupt with volcanic fury. Blades will slice with razor-sharp precision. And
This is more like it. Games. This is what we want to see.
their faces are forever masked. Their tombs are forever unknown. They are the Wonderful 101. I knew.
I was gonna say
we forgot
Wonderful
someone.
100? I thought it was 101.
You.
They tricked me.
As we mentioned at E3, the Wonderful 101 is a collaboration between producer Atsushi Inabe and director Hideki Kamiya. This team of heroes, their massive transformation, and the non-stop action.
I love
of
this, like, look
alien
at
invasion
Reggie
can
as
be
the
experienced
businessman.
Only on Wii U. We're very excited to be partnering with Platinum Games on these two key games.
Love Platinum Games.
Next, we can confirm one more project you may have heard about.
One more
Capcom
project?
is bringing Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate to North America
Oh.
and Europe for both Wii U and Nintendo 3DS in March next year. And the gameplay is great. Wii U will support online multiplayer and also local co-op mode, where you can progress simultaneously between Wii U and Nintendo 3DS.
Where you can progress.
The full details will be coming
Oh,
soon,
Reggie.
so stay tuned for that.
Monster Hunter, I think, is a good title to have, especially
We've
because
got one final guest with us
was
here
it the
today.
Wii that had a Monster Hunter game that
I'd like to invite
I think really
Activision
expanded its
Publishing CEO Eric Hirschberg to join me.
fan base.
Activision is known around the world for
Wow.
blockbuster entertainment.
Nintendo has
and
this
several of
amazing
the most
relationship with them.
successful franchises in game history. So
I mean,
Eric,
the
come
second
on out.
I have two 3DSs, and the second one was a Monster Hunter theme. And the Switch got its own Monster Hunter game
Well, Eric, I know there
this
are
month,
a lot
actually,
of people
right?
here who are
I think it's this
pumped
month. They're
to hear
getting
what you
its
have to
own
say, so have at it.
All right,
Switch
thanks, Reggie. We're equally pumped to say it. So it's great to be here with you all.
I will
because
say
it
the
looks to
energy of
us
this
like,
is
this November,
not that
Nintendo will
impressive.
Once again, bring a lot of freshness, a lot of innovation, a lot
Like
of
this
new
guy
ideas to video
sounds like he
games
just
into
like
the
woke
living
up and
room
walked
overall
out
with
here.
the launch of the Wii U. And we're excited because we think we've got a few great games that are going to really help show it off. As all of you, I'm sure, would agree, our industry is going through a time of tremendous disruption right now, driven by everything from new devices to new business models to new competition to new consumer behavior. And there's more competition than ever before. But there are
That is
also
true.
more
I think this was a very
gamers
interesting
than ever
time in
before.
the history
In
of
fact, I
gaming.
would argue that games, video games, have become the
No
entertainment
one really knew
medium of
what
choice
this
for a
decade was going to be
generation.
like.
And historically,
And looking back
nothing
on it, it's like,
has
oh wow,
gotten gamers more excited and supercharged
it
that interest
changed a lot.
than the possibilities that are brought about by new innovative game platforms, which is, of course,
I think
why
a
we're
lot of
here
people
today.
saw where they
With
thought
its
the industry
innovative
was going,
second
and it did
screen on the
not go that
gamepad
direction.
And its HD-ready graphics, Nintendo's Wii U, we think, is the most capable Nintendo platform ever, particularly for the types of games that we love to make. And it obviously gives our developers a lot of new toys
This is
to play
so
with and consider in their creative
ironic
process.
because
What I've always most admired about
Nintendo just got
is that
like
their ideas
no
about hardware
third-party
and
support.
software are so tightly intertwined. And this has also been true a few times in Activision's history, most recently and never more so than with our recent launch of Skylanders. In fact, when Jerry Storch,
Skylanders was
our
huge.
our partner who's the head of Toys
I think I
R
was
Us,
like a little
first saw
above the
Skylanders,
age
he
range
said
for that
he thought
game,
it was an idea that Nintendo could have come
but
up
I
with.
know
Now, I took this to be a huge compliment.
they made a killing on
But for
not
all
only
of
the
us at
software
Activision, it
side,
always
but
comes
like
down
the
to
toys and things that
one
went
thing
into
and
it.
one thing only,
It was
and that's
essentially
making
amiibos.
great entertainment experiences for passionate gamers all over the world. And we're really excited by the possibilities of the Wii U, which is why we're working to deliver a great lineup of titles which will be available in the Wii U launch window. So to take a look at what we're up to, let's show you.
Yes, let's see. They got some Skylanders. I assume that's what this will be. Again, like graphically, it just does not really show off what the Wii U can do, in my opinion. Just saying. Pikmin 3 looks so amazing. And then, like, this is a launch title. It just is this, it essentially looks more like more of the Wii. Oh yeah, Wipeout. More shovelware is what we want on our brand new system. Like, imagine showing this today. Activision would be laughed out of a conference if they showed this. Oh man, was this the 007 Legends? This game was just like fine to me. I enjoyed it, but it was not the most amazing 007 game by far. I do miss 007 games though. Transformers. Maybe I'm judging these too harshly, but I just don't think, like, this was only, there were some beautiful games on the Wii U, and these just don't look like they're taking full advantage of that. So Activision comes up with more Skylanders, which I think is good. Wipeout, a Transformers game, and a 007 game.
Now,
Oh, the Wii
last
U,
year,
what
as you know,
troubles
we
you
brought
had.
Virtual play together with physical play in a whole new way with the revolutionary Skylanders Spyro's Adventure. Now, that game quickly went on to become the #1 selling new kids IP of 2011.
Yeah, like I
And
said,
year
that
to date in
game made a
2012, it's also the best-selling
killing.
video game right now. And this year, the adventure
Also, it's
only
like,
gets bigger.
does you really want Activision to be your biggest partner
With the Wii
at
U,
this?
gamers can play
I don't
using
know.
tilt and touchscreen controls, as well as drag and drop functionality with their characters right from their gamepad. Plus, the touchscreen delivers real-time character stats and level objectives in the palm of the gamer's hand. Now, we'll also be releasing some of our top licensed properties, as you saw, like 007 Legends, which celebrates 50 years of James Bond action by letting gamers play some of the most iconic action sequences from Bond films throughout the decades,
That is
including a few
such a
from
cool
this
concept.
year's upcoming film, Skyfall. And then, of course, there's Wipeout, everyone's favorite crazy, insane obstacle course based on the popular game show. And we're also releasing an all-new Transformers game called Transformers Prime.
I don't think
which
Wipeout
based
is going
on
to be the
multiple
game that's going to
Emmy
get people to come
Award-winning
out and buy
television
Wii
series
U.
viewed by about 160 million people worldwide. And this one will be exclusive to Nintendo platforms. Now, there is one more game that we'll be bringing to the Wii U, but it didn't make the
Are we
trailer.
gonna get
I hope you
hype?
don't mind, but we thought we'd do a live demo instead. We brought it along.
Live
And,
demo.
It's called Call of Duty Black Ops 2. You've heard of it. So Treyarch, who you
God.
know well, our award-winning development studio, who are the developers of Black Ops
There's just
2,
the silence in the
also have
crowd.
a long history of bringing Call of Duty
He definitely
games
paused
to
for
Nintendo
applause.
platforms dating all the way back to the GameCube.
And there was
But I think what Treyarch is making this year is nothing short of the most groundbreaking Call of Duty game yet. And it looks great on the Wii U. For the first time in the Call of Duty franchise, Black Ops 2 takes gamers into the near future, where a whole new arsenal of technology and weapons and gameplay mechanics become possible and open up. Now, with over 35 million average monthly players online, obviously the highlight for a lot of Call of Duty players is multiplayer. And Black Ops 2 raises that bar again with a completely reimagined
Call of Duty
approach to
Black
multiplayer.
Ops 2.
And we're going to show you what it looks like right now on the Wii U. I'm going to bring up my good friends,
Let's see what this looks
Jacob
like.
Porter and Jason Addis, who are going to do a live demo.
I'm not a big Call of Duty fan,
Now, the reason that
but I'm curious.
Jason and
This
Jacob are gonna be
should
doing the demos
look
because
good.
if I did it myself, I would kill everyone way too quickly. It would be all headshots. It'd be over in a flash. So we're going to let these two
God,
guys do the
I
honors.
cringe.
The guys are going to be playing in a map located in Singapore
I don't need
called Cargo.
jokes
And
from
they're playing in a mode called
the
combat
C-suite
training. Now,
in my
this is a
Nintendo
full
conference.
multiplayer experience, only you're playing, in this case, against AI bots. And it's a great mode to build your skills if you're playing by yourself or also with a friend, as the guys are doing here. Now, graphically, you can see that Singapore, this cargo map, really brings into light the incredible graphics that Treyarch are bringing to Black Ops 2. And we've never been able to
It's so
achieve this
funny looking
level
back
of
on this
realism
10 years later.
before
The
on a
incredible
Nintendo
graphics
platform. You can see
standards.
the atmosphere and the textures and the lighting are all at a new level.
I mean, this
for what
this
we've
doesn't
been
look
able to do on a Nintendo platform.
bad. So I think it's a good idea that they showed something like this to show off the difference between the Wii and the Wii U high
And one
definition.
of the coolest things about Black Ops 2, as I mentioned, is the near future weaponry, much of which is drone technology. Now, you can actually play as a lot of these drone weapons. Now, Jacob just took control of a weaponized quad-rotor helicopter, so he's taking the fight to the air, which
Jacob.
is a new gameplay mechanic for multiplayer in Call of Duty. And we've also reinvented
But again, like
Create
this-
a class, which
This
gives
setup
gamers
of the
more
gamepad and the
control
TV,
more
like, why not-
choices over
why
how
is
to
it like
outfit their
this? Is it
soldier
because of
to
the-
fit their style of gameplay than ever before?
The
Doing it on the Wii U,
dimensions
all
or
that
something,
takes
or the
place
image
right in the
sizes.
palm of your
Like,
hand
why?
on the second screen. So you can change
Why
your
not just do like
loadout on
a
the
side-by-side
fly,
comparison or
mid-game,
something?
and not miss a second of the action. Players can also use the second
Such
screen
like a
to view their
weird
mini
setup,
map
and it's like, what should
while
I
they're
focus
playing,
on?
or even to call in a score streak right from the touch screen. You can tell that Treyarch had some fun.
And again, you can't
figuring
really
out ways
tell
to
what the
leverage
difference is with the
gamepad
gamepad.
second screen. And
Gamepad.
what I'm proud of is it's not
Gamepad.
just for mere
The
novelty,
gamepad, though,
but
it's
it really
like,
does enhance the
what is the
gameplay
gamepad doing
experience.
differently other than
We've
showing
also
you
built in
video of the
support, I
game
think
that
it's
you're
worth noting,
playing?
for the Wii Remote and nunchucks, as well as the new Pro controller. So whichever controller you're using on the Wii U, you'll be able to play Black Ops 2 with it.
Like they should be
And
showing
speaking of
like, okay,
enhancing
here's a
the gameplay
dynamic menu that
experience,
you
one of
can
the
use
coolest
while
things
you're
about Black
playing
Ops 2
to do things
for the
on
Wii U
screen
is how we're using the
that you wouldn't
gamepad to
normally be
turn
able to
what
do
was a
without
split
pausing.
screen into two separate full screens.
That was a good death.
Instead of
Like
splitting
I'd
the
be
screen
like,
down the middle when you're playing with a buddy, one player can now play on full screen on the TV while the other plays with a second full screen on the gamepad. So this whole time, Jason's been playing alongside Jacob, full screen on his gamepad. Both guys can play here together competitively or cooperatively in the same room.
That is a cool
without
feature.
having to share the same screen.
like I think that's
Now, if you've
fun.
ever had to fight
You won't have
for who
to.
controls the TV in your house, the gamers will also appreciate the fact that
You
you
don't
can
have
play
to
the
worry
game
about,
directly from the gamepad
screen
without using
watching.
the TV at all. But I don't think any of that's going to matter in a minute here because it looks like Jason's about ready to unleash a score streak that we call the drone swarm.
Oh man,
Ship,
the
here they come.
drone swarm.
Okay, so we're going to rain a whole squadron of drones down on Singapore, and I can tell you it's not a very pleasant time to be an AI bot right now.
And I
So
do think the
that's
other
just
good
a
thing about
little
showing this is
slice
that
of Call
this
of Duty
actually
Black
does
Ops
show
2 multiplayer
the
for
range
Wii
of the
U.
games that
It's
can
gonna
be
of course,
on
even
the,
more
the
dramatic when
Wii
you
U.
have
So you
all your
don't just
friends playing
get
together online
the,
in a full-on multiplayer
Skylanders.
battle. So,
You don't get
round of
just the
applause for Jason and
Legos.
Jacob.
You get, all right, so here's the other end of things. You get a mature game.
Thanks. Great job. Now, of course, Call of Duty
Is it the
Black
most
Ops 2
exciting,
will also, on the Wii U, come with
amount
a
of
full
games that
epic
we've
single-player
seen? No.
campaign, which also has tons of innovations.
There's good stuff in
It's
there,
got
though.
branching storylines and
I mean, I
non-linear gameplay
personally think the
baked
most
into
hype thing
campaign
from
for the
this was
first
the
time.
Bayonetta
And of
2
course, our
teaser.
friends, the zombies, will also be back. And
But I also
better
don't
than
think
ever.
Bayonetta is one
We
of
don't
those
have,
series that
any reveals
has,
on that today, but stay tuned, they'll be coming soon. But
it's
we
more
do
of
have
like a
the Wii U in
cult
full force on the Wii U.
fandom.
So
level.
you really will be getting
There are a lot of people that love it a lot, me being one of them, but it's not.
And we think it looks great. So
It
that's
doesn't have like the same
Activision this
pull
morning.
that like a
With
Mario
that, I'm
or a
gonna bring
Zelda
back
does.
Reggie.
Eric, thank you so much.
All right.
The games look great. Call of
Oh,
Duty
Reggie.
really is
The games
complete
look great.
package. HD graphics that look out of this world, and the thrill of Call of Duty multiplayer on Wii U. And those of you here with us here today will be able to play it for yourself shortly in just a few minutes.
I want to play.
Now, beyond Nintendo
Maybe I'll
Land
dust
and
off my
New
Wii
Super
U
Mario
today.
Brothers U, it's still a little too early to guarantee exactly which games will be here for you on launch day itself and which will come shortly thereafter. But I can assure you that this launch library, beginning on day one, will be the strongest for any Nintendo home platform in our history.
Any Nintendo home
You can
platform.
probably judge that from the
I don't know
games
if
that have
that's
already
true,
been
Reggie.
announced by
I'm
their
sorry.
publishers.
I mean, to be fair though, Nintendo doesn't really have launch lineups that blow me away. I don't think any system really has amazing launch lineups. I think the Switch with Breath of the Wild though is the ideal pairing. And I think the PS5 I thought had a really good launch lineup. Demon's Souls remake, which was the one that convinced me to buy. Zombie U they didn't mention. Trying to. THQ with the game show games. Or shovelware. It's interesting because they didn't really talk about a lot of these. And this epic music. That's what we want from Nintendo, is epicness. We don't want that from Nintendo. We don't need that from Nintendo. They're epic in their own way.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed what we've presented. A look at how the Wii U gamepad makes several new styles of play possible, even within a single Metroid attraction, and how that Metroid experience itself will exist alongside 11 others inside Nintendo Land. How Nintendo TV promises the same kind of innovation for TV viewing as Wii U itself does for gaming. And I know many of you are looking forward to the arrival of the newly announced titles like Bayonetta 2, Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, and Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
I love the way Reggie like read those off.
We've come here today not just to make
Bayonetta
news,
2.
but to give you a better sense for how Wii U will change the way you play games, how it'll connect your gaming friends, and how it will change the way you watch television. The agent of that change
I'm
is
so
the Wii
glad
U
we're past
gamepad,
that phase.
a fully integrated second
I don't
screen
care
that
about
doesn't
TV on my
exist
video game console. I
anywhere
want my
else.
video game console to
We
play
can't
games
wait for
well.
you to get your hands on it
Period. And I want them to have
it's
good
the
games.
next advance
Those are
in gaming.
that's all I want.
It's how you will play next. Thanks for being with us, and we'll close today by letting you see some of those games in action. Thanks again.
All right, so there we go. The Wii U Direct. Oh my god, that was awesome. I enjoyed the epic Mickey games. Nintendo Land, look at the toads. Rayman Legends was good. And also a good use of the gamepad. Yeah, back to that music. Yeah. We fit you. What about Wii Sports Resort? Is that Wii U or Wii? I don't remember. But I love it. Game & Wario, yes. He's like, why didn't they do more of this in the actual presentation? Like, why save this for a sizzle reel? Instead, we got 15 minutes of them talking about the TV app. God, Lego doing like a Assassin's Creed style gameplay. The thing about this is like, it actually looks so hopeful for the third-party support that the Wii U is going to get. But we know the reality is, it got like none at all. This makes it look so promising. Wii U. How you will play next. Alright, well, was it the best? No, it wasn't. And I've been thinking about this as I've watched it. Let me just... Okay, so Wii U Direct. Let's see where this... Aha, there it is. So it's September. I'm thinking right here. Because... I mean, they did have some good games in there. So I don't think this belongs in the F tier. But, I mean, it was just dragged down so much by that TV portion. I just think this is where it belongs. And we did get some good games. You know, we had New Super Mario Bros. 2. We had some talk of... I don't even remember. We had a teaser for Bayonetta 2. And we had Nintendo Land, which I don't think was the best choice to show off here. But like, I think the sizzle reel was the most interesting part, to be honest. I think there was the most interesting games coming out of that. And that's what is a system seller. Like, that's what you need to show people. It's like, we have all these games. They should have spent more time on that, less time on the TV part. And, they should have showed off more of what the gamepad could do to innovate. And, you know, to be fair to them at this point in time, maybe they didn't really know how far they could take the gamepad because this is still the launch of the system. And so, you know, I think a lot more innovative uses would come later. And I think another reason why I think this comes here below these two is because this was still in the format of like an E3 presentation. This wasn't what I would call a direct, even though it's called a direct. So this is where I'm going to plop this down. I think they're going to learn from this, as we'll see as we watch more. But in general, I think this has been the worst one we've watched so far. Not quite F tier. I'm not really sure what's going to be in F tier, but we'll see. It may be very few things. But so far, I think we've mostly watched like average and below average Nintendo Directs so far. It's going to get better, I promise. So yeah, so let's watch one more. Because the next one up is a mini. Nintendo Direct Mini, only a few minutes long. So we'll end with this one, and we'll have watched 3 more on here, which I think is a good pace we're going at here. All right, let's do this.
Hi everyone, this is Reggie from Nintendo. A few weeks ago, we announced that our developers were hard at work on creating exclusive new courses for Coin Rush mode in New Super Mario Bros.
Yes, Coin Rush mode.
Which was released for the Nintendo 3DS and Nintendo 3DS XL systems on August 19th. I have new details.
Look at those glorious
add-on content to
figures in the background
in this Nintendo Direct Mini.
Reggie's office, that's where it's at.
We're releasing 3 different packs, each with its own unique characteristics. It's easier to show you than to tell you, so let's take a look at a short video that shows off the key features of these 3 packs.
Is this all this is going to be? Is DLC for New Super Mario Bros. 2? Is this going to be F tier?
Each of these
What do you think?
downloadable course packs contains 3 brand new courses that you can play in Coin Rush mode. Here's a brief rundown of all 3 packs. In the Gold Rush pack, you can transform.
I don't think I
Gold
bought
Mario
any of these, to be
on a
honest.
Coin collecting spree. Gold flowers can be found in all 3
Ooh,
courses.
gold flowers.
So be
Oh, yeah,
sure
that's
to
right,
keep
because
an
that
eye
gives you
out.
the gold power-up thing.
If you really want to go for the gold, try to max the counter out at 30,000 coins.
Go for 30,000.
With Coin Challenge Pack A, you can show your Mario skills to the entire
I mean,
world.
I just love
as you
watching
compete
Mario
for the
stuff.
Worldwide high score.
It's just so
Choose your path
peaceful.
wisely to
One of
maximize
those
your
things that
coin
just
count,
it just makes you
because
feel
you'll
like
need to
happy.
make the perfect run if you want to make it to the top. After you finish your run, check the game's official website to see where you stand on the worldwide leaderboard.
The Nerve Rack Pack.
The Nerve Rack Pack will challenge even the most
P-coins.
experienced of Mario players. In these 3 fiendishly
Oh
difficult
god, that looks
courses,
painful.
even a single slip-up will spell disaster. That's why this course pack is recommended for veteran players only.
Oh my god, that looks awesome.
Normally, in New Super Mario Bros. 2, 3 courses are selected randomly each time you play Coin Rush. But because these downloadable course packs feature 3 courses each, you can hone your skills and develop the perfect run through repeated playthroughs.
Yes, tell me how to purchase. Tell me how I
To
can buy your
access the new
DLC.
Super Mario Bros. 2 shop, connect to the internet, and then select Coin Rush on the title screen. Touch the shop button.
I don't know.
At the
I don't know
bottom
what
of
I'm
the
thinking
screen
here. Is this
to
F tier?
browse and purchase course packs. The shop button will not display
we find our first F
immediately
tier?
after purchasing New Super Mario Bros.
I mean, I can't
2.
think of anything less
To make the
exciting
button
than
appear,
a
you'll need to
Nintendo
receive
Direct
Spot
Mini
Pass
that's focusing on
notification about the
DLC
game.
that's about
Notifications
collecting
may not
coins.
arrive immediately if it's been a while since
Granted,
you
I think the
played New Super
presentation
Mario Bros.
wise,
2.
I think this is like pretty solid. I mean, they got straight to the point.
After launching the game,
It's
check
mostly
the
focused on
options to
the
make sure your Spot Pass settings
just a
switch to
video.
on.
We don't have to, watch someone awkwardly speak from a teleprompter, even though that
The first
seeing
round
Reggie in
of
his office was
downloadable course
priceless.
packs
Gotta
will
love
be
that.
Available starting October 4th.
$250 each. I mean, this is like nothing. I'm sorry. I don't want to be so harsh on these.
As you can see,
Oh, we're
each
back to
pack
Reggie.
includes unique courses,
Reggie.
and players can enjoy each one in different ways.
I want that mug with Reggie's
The normal
me
Coin
face
Rush
on it in the
mode In New
background.
Super Mario Bros. 2 randomly selects 3 different courses from the main game for players to try. But in these additional packs, the Coin Rush mode courses are all fixed. That means every player is going to be competing against other players under the same exact conditions, which makes it easier to compare your record with others. These new packs featuring Coin Rush mode are all about striving for higher and higher coin totals, and these new courses really ramp up the challenge.
It's funny because they
and the fun.
made this
When our
like
development teams
5-6
went to
minute
create these
video
add-on courses, they turned to fans of New Super Mario Bros. 2 for inspiration.
about
So now you'll find a
$2
course
worth
that
of
lets you have
DLC.
tons of coins.
When you frame
It's
it
a
like that, it really does
difficult
sound like
course
this
that
should be
requires
F tier.
players to try again and again to complete it. The first 3 packs of add-on levels will be available on October 4th.
Now we get Reggie talking
We're still
directly to the
working on
camera.
more courses, and we expect to release a second batch at the end of October and a third batch at the end of November. We'll
It
share
is cool
more
though.
information
Like I wish
about
they would
these
support
courses
more of their
in the
games
future.
with DLC. To be
For now,
honest,
thanks for your ongoing
where's my
support
Mario
of New
Odyssey
Super Mario
DLC?
Bros. 2, and thanks for
I
listening.
want more. I want new Mario Kart DLC. All right, so that was a quick one. Short, sweet, and full of nothing. But this one will be easy just to write. New Super Mario Bros. DLC. It's just so sad. But that was October 2nd. Nintendo Mini, let's find that here. I mean, I think this is F tier. It was a video about $2 worth of DLC for New Super Mario Bros. It wasn't terrible presentation-wise, but content-wise, even for a mini, that's sad. We're gonna get so many more. I mean, just look at this. You can see we have like these indie worlds down here. Those are short and sweet, and they give us so much more than that. So I think we have our first F tier. We've made history. First F tier Nintendo Direct. So here we're gonna stop for the day. This is where we're at. Like I said, I think we're gonna start filling this up soon. But we're going through a rough era. The Wii U era, the Wii U launch era especially, was just like not good. And I love Nintendo. I love my Nintendo Wii U. And I'm primarily excited for the 3DS stuff we're going to be getting, because so many good games were on the 3DS, and we're going to get so many more coming. Like, so far we haven't really had that many, though they do have a good lineup. I mean, we have Mario Kart, we have Kid Icarus Uprising. It's only going to get better from there. So I think it's going to be some more exciting stuff. But for now, that's where we'll stop. Next up, we have a full-length direct, more along the lines of what we get nowadays. 30 minutes long. And yeah. So thanks for joining me. If you tuned in to watch, whether you're on Twitch or on YouTube, just a reminder, you can follow me at Twitter, at Janitor Round. That's where I'll be posting when I'm going live. I still haven't settled on a schedule. I don't think I'm going to get there for March, having a predictable schedule, just because it's going to be a busy month for me. But I'm going to try to do these as regular as I can, hopefully at least once a week. We did a little earlier this Saturday than we did last week. I don't know if I'll have time to do it next week, but at this time at least. So we'll see. But hopefully you stick around, or at least join in for future sessions as we watch every single Nintendo Direct and rank them. We're making progress. We still have like 40 plus hours of Nintendo Directs to watch, but so far, so good. And it's been fun just to watch these back. Even if they haven't been the best so far, we know the best will come. So yeah, so thanks for joining me, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.